All right. We're going to say, all right. We're going to say it like we're doing smooth jazz. Well, all right. But we're not doing smooth jazz. We're not doing that at all. We are live on Comedy Schools Radio Network.com. We are live on the YouTube. We're YouTube-ish. And we are now going to be live in 3, in 2, in 1, in 1.5, and 1 1/3, and 1 1/8, and 1 1/4, and 1/58 and 9,000. And we are now live on Facebook Live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages. Welcome to Living on a Thin Line with Tony Vicich. I am Tony Vicich. We come to you every day at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time, which right now is Pacific time. I try to explain this every day. It doesn't help. I'm not helping myself or others. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. It's like the stuff on the commercial when they're saying Astra Sukapa will save your life. And then there's a little thing under it going, may also cause brain cancer, teeth to fall out, feet to smell bad. So, I do my little disclaimer in the beginning about what time we're on. Because I've had people write me and go, it's not Mountain Standard Time right now because you're California time. Then I have people go, all right, if it's 2 p.m. there, what year is it here? So we try to clear that up. We try to clear that up every day so that no one can accuse us of lying. We don't want to be known as liars. We come to you every day. This show is on 3 platforms. Count them. 3. 1, 2, 3. It's on Comedy Schools Radio Network.com. It is on YouTube on Comedy Schools. And it is on Facebook Live. The show is on 3 platforms. It's built around 3 things. 3 little tent poles. It's a little TP of humor. TP humor. What is that? Toilet paper humor? No, just TP. Like a thing, that people used to live in that lived here before before Europeans were. Man, I don't want to cause, I don't really care if I cause trouble or not, but I try to avoid it just because I don't feel like dealing with it. 3 things. It's based on your questions and comments that are posted on one of the aforementioned social media platforms that we then comment back. We will then comment back or answer any questions. And then it's built around some knick-knack, doodad, little kerfluffle, little piece of fluff, memorabilia autograph that we have laying here in the home office that I share with you. And then we try to build a little story around. And we normally we recommend 2 pieces of 2 artists or 2 pieces of music based off our vast and deep and expansive vinyl album collection. We are now beginning to transition, for those you concerned, into the CD era. So at one point in my life, all I bought were 45s. 45s were these little records with a big hole. Little records with a big hole. All right? Please, QAnon people, do not take that out of context. Little record, big hole. And there was only 1 song per side. You could flip it over. You got 2 songs. 1 circular piece of vinyl, little, big hole. And you went home and you played it on your record player. Then we went into and I had a bunch of those, but they all got burnt up in a trailer fire in 1976. That's right. I lived in a trailer. Yes, it did burn down. Yes, it was 1976. And all my 45s were in the living room where the fire took place. The fire department did get it put out in time to save the bedroom where my albums were. I lost some albums. I lost the Heart album, Dreamboat Annie. I know that. And some other great ones, which I can't remember right now. A Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings album. I think those were the 2 big ones that were in the living room when that trailer burned down. Was Heart's Dreamboat Annie and the Outlaws primer to outlaw country music with Willie and Waylon and Tom Paul Glazer and Jesse Coulter. Jesse Coulter Young? Was it Jesse Coulter or just Jesse Coulter? Anyway, Waylon's wife. Those burnt up in the fire, but I had albums. So for years, we were in the album era. If you bought music, you bought it, albums. Then we shifted over to, during that very time, we were slowly shifting into the 8-track era. So 8-tracks were these things that looked like they were like a rectangle, like a thick rectangle. And you bought a separate player that you then mounted inside your car. I had one mounted. I mounted an 8-track player And, as a young guy at that age, drinking as I was and as frustrated as I was many times, I might have mounted it in more ways than one. Um, and you put that thing that looked like a sandwich into the 8-track player, and there you had music in your car. You didn't have to. You were freed with the 8-track player, which actually started out originally as 2-track and 4-track players. Quickly, Gary Upton, you're watching. You know this. You were around. Gary Upton. Gary, you know what? This is an odd coincidence. Gary, if you don't mind me saying so, I'm talking about the different eras in how you listen to music, and how when I was a kid, you listen on 45s. I just described them as little records with a big hole, little things with a big hole. And I also asked the QAnon people not to attack me for saying that. All right. And then we moved to the album era. But I have most of my albums from that I started buying around 1970. But I lost some in a trailer fire in 1976. Gary Upton, do you remember that trailer fire? And you should, because you were in the trailer while it was on fire. It's so weird. I'm talking about that trailer fire, and who pops up? One of the people that was in the trailer. I saved your life. And I'd do it again. You were a fun guy to hang out with. So during that time, I had a 68 Le Mans. 68 Le Mans was cool, man. Pontiac Le Mans. Not a Firebird. I didn't have some big bird painted on my hood. That was somehow popular or cool for a short period of time. I never went for that crap. It's one of many tattoos. I don't think you write on things. The thing should speak for itself. And it had an 8-track player in it. And then you stuck the 8-track in there. You were freed from the tyranny of the radio, that you could only listen to what they were playing on the radio. You could then get your favorite album on 8-track and stick it in there and listen to it. One of my favorites was the best of Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen. They had beautiful songs they played, like everybody's dancing and trucking, everybody's swinging and fucking. I ate 3 bennies and my semi-truck won't start. They also did a incredible, great version of Smoke That Cigarette. They basically played a lot of really like off-color hillbilly music in a boogie-woogie fashion, and they were a killer band. I saw them live in concert. So you had 8-track players. Then we moved to the cassette era. And then from the cassette era, we moved to the CD era. Now, I've saved a lot of my cassettes, not all of them. Somehow they didn't hold their value. Albums did, and CDs have. But the poor 8-track and the poor cassette are ignored by people. They were ignored. They were tossed out. The problem with them was that they were easily damaged. You kind of took care of your records. You stacked them right. You cleaned them. But cassettes easily melted in the sun, or the tape inside would break easily. The same thing with 8-tracks. So they both had that little magnetic, with 8-tracks, it was thick. With cassettes, it was thin. With that magnetic tape in there that the music was put on. And they got destroyed easily. So they did not have the durability of the vinyl album or the CD. All of this by way of explaining to you that we are now also moving into the CD era. So if you're going, Tony's going to run out of music to talk about eventually. He's already been on the air over 6 months. He's recommended 2 albums a day, almost 7 days a week nonstop, give or take a day or two. He's got to run out of records. Well, I still have records. Now, I'm getting some pretty esoteric and weird ones, and ones that nobody would like except me and a very small select group of people. But I still have records. But we are moving to the CD era, so I just thought I would mention that. Okay? That was man, I got to talk about the trailer fire. That was so nice. That shows you sometimes you should not be Mr. Hyper Responsibility. You should not be Mr. Hyper Responsibility. Because on that fateful day in the year of our Lord, 1976, the bicentennial year, when we drank bicentennial beer, there was a brand of beer in St. Louis, Missouri called Falstaff, and I think Busch too. We drank Busch beer. Busch beer is kind of a garbage beer. That's what I'm told, but that's but Busch Bavarian Brewery still is located in St. Louis, no longer owned by the Busch family. Owned by them, and Budweiser was their beer. Budweiser, the king of beers. Bush was like supposedly a lower grade of beer. Now I didn't know that. Growing up in a working class family, factory working father, there was always a case of Bush beer. Case of Bush beer now. Captain Beefheart. I may have some Captain Bob Rocky, also going AKA the nom de plume or actual name Robert Aguirre. Just put up Captain Beefheart here on Facebook Live with a question mark. So I don't know if you're wanting to know if he exists. I don't think that. I think you're asking, do we have Captain Beefheart music? And I believe that I do. I'm going to have to look, but I'm almost positive somewhere at least I have a compilation album with Trout Mask Replica on it. So loved Captain Beefheart when I was in high school. Very strange sounding, bizarre band. Captain Beefheart, a very close friend of Frank Zappa. I think they both kind of grew up together in Palmdale or someplace weird like that, and put out some of the most audacious and innovative, strangest, exciting, adventuresome music this side of Philip Glass. There, Paul Whitney said, "Is there a Captain Beefheart?" Yeah, it was a real guy. That was not his real name, but it was Captain Beefheart and his magical band. Tina Mike Lawson also said, referencing back when I was talking about St. Louis beers, said good old Stag. There was Stag beer, and it tastes like horse piss. I'm going to agree with you, Mike, that Stag beer tasted like horse piss. I don't want to get into how we would be able to make that comparison. You see? Okay. Bat Chain Puller. So I guess Bob's mentioning a song by Captain Beefheart. Captain Beefheart also had a song called The Blimp. That was just somebody going, the blimp, and then a horn going, the blimp. And then somebody almost started crying, going, oh, Mom, the mothership, the blimp. Very kind of Dadaistic type of music. Our good friend Lon Simmons, who was a high school teacher who I'm still friends with, English communication, creative writing teacher at Northwest High School. It's hard to believe. Sometimes you see some Facebook posts from some of my former friends that we had a creative writing class or even an English class. But we did. We had good English teachers. I guess most of us did not pay attention to them. Had a multimedia class where we had to make the forerunner a music video. We had to put together some sort of video that kind of explained our visualized music. And all I did was I found an advertisement that had 4 identical pictures of a bald-headed guy squinting, going like that, and they were different colors: red, yellow, green, blue. And I cut them out of a magazine, and I put them on slides, and then I put them in a little slide projector, and I just kept showing that over and over during the whole song, and going, I defy anyone to tell me that that's not art. That was my junior year of high school. There was another guy who took Marty Robbins' song, was it down in El Paso? Marty Robbins' song El Paso, and actually made a little movie of him acting out the scenes in that great story song El Paso by Marty Robbins. And all I did was I had 4 color slides of a bald-headed guy. Over and over, Captain Beefheart song, and I think just out of fatigue, Lon Simmons still gave me a passing grade. Bob Rocky asked, did you dress as Yoko Ono one Christmas? Not just one Christmas, Bob. Every Christmas, because when you dress like Yoko, every day is Christmas. Kelly Wilson said, Schlitz, the beer that gives back. It was Schlitz malt liquor, Kelly. When we used to skip high school when we were kids and go to the Jules Bar in High Ridge, Missouri, we used to drink the Bull, Schlitz malt liquor, because we thought we were getting like an extra kick that had a little more potency, a little more power. Being chased by the Bull. I have totally forgotten what this show was supposed to be about now. Totally forgotten. Somehow I was trying to explain how you purchase music in my lifetime. Right around the time I was born, there was something called 78 RPMs. Not even going to go into it. And then there were 45s. Little records with a big hole. Then there were albums. Big records with a little hole. Then there were 8 tracks. Then there were CDs. Also, there were cassettes in there. And now they just download it from exactly what you're watching me on here. So what I'm trying to explain is that as we always recommend two artists or two pieces of music, or generally do every day, that we are moving sometime from the vinyl era to the album era. I mean, from the vinyl album to the CD era here on the show, but we've still got enough stuff to last the year. I might have started going out and buying records and albums again. Someone asked about bobbleheads. Right now, there's only one bobblehead. Okay, one bobblehead we're talking about is the bobblehead that I'm going to give away to one of you. And here it is, the Tony Vicich bobblehead. You're seeing it right here live on Facebook Live. You're seeing it there on YouTube, on ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com. There you go. That is the Tony Vicich bobblehead. There's the name, Tony Vicich. There are only 3 of these. Here, you don't believe it? Somebody doesn't look like you. Yeah, it does. Look at it now. That's me. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to Living on a Thin Line. My name is Tony Vicich. This is your daily distraction. There's only 3 of these in the entire world. 3. I got a thing with the number 3, don't I? My show's on 3 platforms. Show's built around 3 things. There's only 3 Tony Vicich bobbleheads. I have 2 brothers. That makes 3 sons of Barbara and Jerry Vicich. Something about the number Tres. I like that song, Tres Hombres. I also like 1, 2, 3 by Len Berry. 1, 2, 3. That's how elementary it's going to be. And I like doing this show because nobody can tell me what to do. And now you see what happens when no one tells me what to do. So we will be giving away one. We will be giving away one Tony Vicich bobblehead Saturday night. You have to be live in person at JP's Comedy Club, 860 East Warner Road. Only 40 tickets available. As I understand, only 40 tickets at 120 seat room, so we have safe social distancing. You have to be live in person. You'll be given a raffle ticket at the end of the first show. We're going to take this hat right here. That's right, this hat right here. And we're going to pull a ticket out. And if you have the matching ticket, you will win one of 3 Tony Vicich. These are going to be worth money. These are going to be worth money. Kevin Roberts goes, where can I buy the TV bobbleheads? I know I saw you asking that on Facebook earlier, Kevin. I was going to answer you, but there we go. Very sharp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. You can't buy them, Kev. You can't buy them. There's only 3, man. Only 3. All right? One's going to be given away Saturday night. I will tell you this, okay? And I'm not encouraging you to do this. I will not encourage you. But I've already had someone write me and go, man, I'm in California and I cannot be in Phoenix to see the show. Hold on, Kevin. I got a solution for you, Kevin Roberts. And Mike, I want to go back and answer your questions about records off the back of a cereal box because, yeah, I did do that. Or like there'd be a record magazine, you know, you could actually play it. It would destroy your needle. We did have that. Kevin Roberts says, this is anti-out-of-towner. I've got a solution for you out-of-towners. And you know that I cast a wide net. You know that the whole Tony Visit ComedySchools.com family is a big tent organization. We're all inclusive. We include everyone. We love everyone. You know that. Okay. See, Angela Fox is now putting up amazing bobbleheads. What, and you know, Angela, I got to say, I can't stop you, Angela. I can't stop people. But if you're telling people to make bootleg bobbleheads, they'll be bootleg. They're not originals, not sanctioned, not officially sanctioned by Tony Vicich or the ComedySchools.com organization. This is the Tony Vicich bobblehead, except no imitations. Now, Kevin, here's how you can possibly win this bobblehead. You can go online and purchase a ticket, even though, here, I'm telling you the solution. You can go online to jpscomedyclub.com, jpscomedyclub.com, and you can purchase a ticket. Yes, you won't be able to be at the show. And no, it's not going to be broadcast live. Okay, one of my first live shows in quite a while. But you can purchase a ticket. Okay, and you send me a picture of your purchase. All right, I will separate out a raffle ticket for you. Okay, and I'll put it in a semi-waterproof sealed thing from Funkin' Waterhouse. Okay, and and then we'll put its matching ticket in the hat Saturday night. Okay, and if it gets pulled out and you win, okay, we will ship the bottle bobblehead to you at your cost for shipping, because these things are expensive. Okay, but you can win the bobblehead without being at the show Saturday night. Now, it is a $15 investment. I will grant you that. Tickets for the show Saturday night are $15. They are. I didn't set this price. Well, kind of. But you'll be able to buy a ticket. You then send me a picture, or I will see your purchase order. Okay, and I will then separate out a raffle ticket for you. And if your number comes up, you will win the bobblehead without being in the room. But that's the only way. One other guy has done that or is doing that. Sammy J. Very funny comic, Sammy J., who's done shows with us, performed with us at several clubs, has been in our workshops, said that he wanted to do that, and we're letting him do it. So Kev, my good friend Kev, as a matter of fact, the man who was the preacher, the pastor, who married Shirley and I in August of 2013. Really wonderful guy. Flew in from Detroit, Michigan. To officiate Shirley and I entering into a wedded bliss. That's who we're talking to. Kev, if you want to, then all you got to do, Kev, is do that. And then you have a chance to win one of 3 official Tony Fishing bobbleheads. He said, I'm still again it. I simply like saying it. I'm again it. Listen, man, we are already almost gone out of time. Here's what we're going to do today, music-wise, is we reference this. This is the first time we're doing the same album or CD 2 days in a row, but we didn't get to all. This is Nuggets. Nuggets was put out by Rhino Records, which was a compilation of the weird, the obscure, the fun, the brilliant, way back when. And this came out in 2000, and it is a compilation. They did compilations of all these records. This is compilations of music from the psychedelic era, which ran pretty much from 1960, late 1966, up until about 1968, 69. The psychedelic era, which was all kind of a lot of bands trying to capture a sound that was coming out of San Francisco that had been created by the Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane, primarily a little bit Big Brother, and definitely Quicksilver. So bands that were really kind of inspired by that and inspired to use all the technology in different ways, and also Hendrix, and employ feedback and weird stuff. Yesterday, I recommended 3 songs off of this, and they were I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night by the Electric Prunes, a perfect encapsulation of psychedelic music from that era. Well, that was the only era for it. Pushing Too Hard by the Seeds. It's a pretty good pop record. I got a great Seed story I'm still going to get to later on this week about the lead singer of the Seeds and the time that I met him. And also Shape of Things to Come from Wild in the Streets, done by Max Frost and the Troopers. I think that was probably just a band of people that were hired by producers to put together a song. So other great songs on this were the original version of I Want Candy by the Strangeloves. Later on, there was a 80s band. Can't remember their name, but they remade I Want Candy. So the original version of it is here. Little Girl by the Syndicate of Sound. If you want to hear like a sneering kind of record, hey little girl, you ain't got nothing on me. Hey Little Girl by the Syndicate of Sound is a really fun song to listen to. Did I recommend Nobody But Me yesterday? That's one of the coolest songs in the world. No. Nobody can do the boogaloo. I may have, but I'm recommending it again because I really love that song. By the Human Beings, Binbeeinz, which was a play on what was then the Be-In. A Be-In being a kind of like a rave nowadays where a bunch of young people get together in a park or someplace and then did a bunch of dope and then acted like they were being spiritual and then listened to rock music and dancing weird, and they were called be-ins. Also on here, I'm definitely going to recommend Psychotic Reaction by the Count Five. So if you want to listen to a fun record from that era that really kind of helped define that era, you want to hear Psychotic Reaction by Count Five. They were a real band with other hits. So just YouTube Count Five or Psychotic Reaction, and you'll hear a great fun song there. Also on here is a song that really wasn't psychedelic, but it's kind of like from that era. It was really, really cool. Kind of a cool love song with kind of an uplifting tempo called Time Won't Let Me. Time Won't Let Me. Whoa. So these are all off of Nuggets from Nuggets, choice artifacts from the first psychedelic era. You could actually YouTube this entire CD, and I guess you would find all this stuff. Oh, one more song to recommend on this. And I used to have this 45. This 45, Gary Upton, if you're still on, if you're still listening and watching, this 45 I got when I was a little kid in like 1967. Cherished this record. Love this record. Played it over and over. When I decided I would be a drummer and sent away for a set of drums, it was one that I would put on the little, I take that 45, little record with a big hole, put it on a little single 45 record player, sit it right next to me so I could hear it and practice the drum parts to this particular song. And the song was Incense and Peppermints by the Strawberry Alarm Clock. The name alone, if you've never known anything about anything, and I said, there was a song called Incense and Peppermints by a band called the Strawberry Alarm Clock. You go, that sounds like it was probably from the 60s. Not only was it from the 60s, that song is the 60s. Incense and Peppermint by Strawberry Alarm Clock. That's my recommendation for you today. Hear a fun record with a really fun sound coming out of Los Angeles, California. Strawberry Alarm Clock. The lead singer was also a drummer. Ended up later on, as I understand it, opened up an aquarium pet store in Woodland Hills, California, and owned it for many, many, many years. Not bitter. One of those guys who had a brief, bright moment in the sun, and then the rest of it didn't happen for him. And like so many wonderful people I know in Southern California who have those brief, bright moments, found something else to do and was quite happy and still got to live in California during the great era of surf and sun and fun in Southern California. Okay, that's our show for today. If you want to call it I did today's show, you go ahead. That's your business. For me, it was just a wandering, meandering through some memories. Some of them triggered by what I was talking about. Some of them triggered by just seeing the good friends that were on here now. All right, Saturday night, you can win the Tony Visit bobblehead. Okay, Bow Wow Wow did I Want Candy. That's what Angela Fox just told me. Yeah, but it was a remake by this band, The Strange Love. So you need to look that up. You hear the original version. I got to go. I got a live show to do tonight. I got a comedy workshop I'm teaching tonight at 6. Still not too late to join. 1 hour beginning stand-up comedy workshop starting at 6 p.m., ending at 7 p.m. You can join in. I'll be teaching from the back of a comedy club. It'll be a Zoom club about comedy, taught from a comedy club. It's going to be fun. Let's have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. You have fun today. Do it safely. Practice safe social distancing, no matter what that idiot says. Wear a mask when you're out in public, because who wants to see your ugly mug anyway? That's it, you guys. I am going. Bye-bye.
How come you said it wasn't going to be on Zoom?
The live stand-up comedy show Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting that on Zoom.